Hello there. I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time. Um, I get asked the question a lot in live stream and even in comments. So, what's your IQ? What's your IQ? And I've never taken an IQ test. I've never had any interest in taking an IQ test. I'm self-taught on virtually everything. I certainly will confess to, as the old quote goes, standing on the shoulders of giants and having seen further, because having stood on the shoulders of giants like Tesla and Plotinus and whatnot, but I take no stock in IQ tests because they actually don't test for anything relevant. Intelligence is a very nice thing. It will get you far in life, but uh, storing up empirical knowledge and data is not important, and it is not what or that which is most beneficial in life. Rather, wisdom is. And there's a huge difference between empirical knowledge, i.e., episteme, and gnosis, or wisdom. One is directly relational to the ontological self, the transcendent self, i.e., the signal, if you will, and one is relevant to the broadcast, empirical consciousness, and it, quote, goes no further than death. Building up a lot of empirical knowledge is not important. It is for some things. I spent many years in college. I will admit that those years were quite wasted. I wished I did not go to college. It was a waste of time and money. I spent most of my time in the library checking out books and reading the masters. I've known, even at a very early age, that my teachers were essentially fools, and they were, and I didn't have bad teachers. I mean, I had a couple bad teachers, the same as you, but that's not what is important. Everything important I found out in life was nothing that was ever taught by any foolish teacher that I ever had. I know there's an old saying that those who can't teach, and that is generally accurate. And somebody a few months ago left me an angry comment saying, "How dare you attack teachers? You know, everything you know is because of some teacher or teachers." And I didn't respond to that person, but the accurate answer is no. Everything that I know and understand, stands in spite of, the foolishness that these people taught me and they taught you. Pathetic regurgitation. Go home and memorize chapters 1 through 3, and we've got a stupid test. This is how we end up with highly educated fools being spit out by college systems. This is the reason why doctors are the second leading cause of death. It's like, well, I'm a doctor. I have a doctorate degree hanging on the wall there. It's like, yeah, it's nice. If I get a broken leg or something, I'm sure you could take care of it, but I don't trust you at all. You're a hubristic fool. IQ tests do not test for nonlinear thought. They do not test for genuine, important problem solving. And an IQ test does not test for anything important like spontaneous thought genesis, creativity, and true understanding and invention. They just don't. I've, in years past, I remember one guy, I won't say his name, kind of grew up with him, and I was considered a prodigy in school, and scored extremely high in some IQ tests that he took, but he's essentially a fool. He's, I think, slipped into the gutter of normal society, and he's still an extremely intelligent person, but he had no wisdom. I don't blame him for that. I don't chastise him for that or anything like that. I mean, I don't see him anymore, but it's not important. Ultimately, there's technically like 6 types of people in the world, but there's fundamentally 4 types of people: the unintelligent fool, the intelligent fool, the unintelligent wise person, and the intelligent wise, which is the most rare. Let's go on to the unintelligent fool. This, and I'm sure you know people like this in life, and I don't chastise them for who they are and being a contributing member of society or being a good family person, but they have no wisdom, which nobody today really does have. And they're also, too, not intelligent. They make ends meet and they work hard. And these are people that are easy to get along with and be friends with, and they pose the least danger to you and me, generally anyway, and society. Now, these people can be drunk and belligerent and lash out and do horrible things to people, and of course they have. I know they might be sitting on death row, these unintelligent fools, because they're emotional, usually, not always, but emotional and irrational. And, they provoked like an animal, they will do bestial things and horrible things that, land them in jail, probably for the rest of their life. So they're superficially dangerous people, but they're not really, really dangerous people. They don't pose an enormous swath of danger, if you will. They're kind of like a bear trap, you know. It's dangerous for X number of radius, but it's not specifically dangerous. The most dangerous people on earth, this is not my opinion, this is a fact, are intelligent fools. The most dangerous people in society have always been highly educated, intelligent, crafty, deceptive, scheming, plotting. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But they're fools. Um, Sometimes they can be extremely charismatic, and that part of their intelligence is to, if they don't have true charisma, appear to be charismatic and kind and caring. They know exactly how to lie to you. They are intelligent fools. But a fool has no wisdom. They don't fundamentally understand the mechanics of nature. They don't understand how really anything works fundamentally so far as natura naturans. They don't know the correct way to be in life or how to, you know, approach nature as it should be approached. Every evil despot throughout history has been an intelligent fool. And these are always the most dangerous people in the world throughout all of history. Here's another example, an unintelligent wise person. There are sages, specifically in India and Tibet, and basically that's about it. There's a few other places. These people may be illiterate. They can't read or write, or they never went to school, but they know exactly how nature works. They know how to live in accord with the earth. They know how to treat other people. They know what to do and what not to do. They might be dumb as a brick, but they have, true common sense and more than common sense. Examples of this would be like a Sanyasin or Muni in the woods of India or Nepal. Woods people that I've met people like this in eastern Kentucky. They might be illiterate, extremely unintelligent. I don't care. But they know how nature works. They could get down and see how old a footprint is and what it was made by, when it was made. They know the flow of nature. They know the way things are, the way things should be. They know how to take care of. These people are not dangerous. These are some of the best people on earth. Well, that person's an unintelligent idiot. He doesn't even know how to read. Who cares? They're a wise person. Now, these people are pretty rare in the United States. Not extremely rare, but generally rare. But I've met more than a few of them. Very dumb, but very wise. One guy is an inventor. I mean, he's just an amazing, brilliant. The guy basically doesn't know how to read. Really, really wise. His wisdom is incredible. Incredible. People like that are actually need to be around. They don't care if they're illiterate. I just don't care. They have wisdom, and that's all that's ultimately important. The most rare type of individual is a person that is both intelligent and wise. They have both the empirical knowledge and they have the wisdom. These people are very rare. These are people that actually use their wisdom and they make manifest intelligent writings and other things for other people. They're very effulgent, kind of like a wellspring of information and help. And these people are the coolest people. They're extremely rare. Today, especially in this day and age, extremely, extremely rare people. one of the biggest sicknesses in well, I was about to say my humble suggestion, but it is the biggest sickness today is that, especially Americans, and also too, really, it's a horrible disease among Europeans and Canadians, and especially Americans, is people are emotional and irrational. People are listening to people that are trying to tug at your heartstrings. It's like you never listen to emotional and irrational nonsense. People should be emotional and irrational when it comes to their wives, their children, their art, their photography. But when it comes to things that affects other people or understanding the nature of ultimate reality, you have to be completely amoral, dispassionate, rational, and completely robotic, really. There are places for, I wish something that should have been taught in school but never was, is that there are places to be emotional, like your friends, your family, your wife, your husband, whatever. But outside of that, emotions are to be shunned. They really are to be shunned. And I wish people were taught that. It's such an important lesson that I was not taught and you were not taught. Intuitively, I knew this to be true even at a very early age, but unfortunately, it wasn't taught by anybody. So, anyway, no, I've never taken an IQ test. I have no plans to take one. I know I'm smart, but more than being smart is wisdom, and nothing of any ultimate value can be tested or empirically classified through an IQ test. It's just not important. So I've been meaning to make this video for some time, so I made it while I'm on my cheap little vacation here in Florida for a few days. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.